Exclusive.
Yo, welcome back to Wook Plus. I am Weekend Wook, joined by Kev the Great One and T. What's up, guys? Kev,
How
you
we doing?
posting through the YouTube again? God damn, man.
That's what happens when you have access.
I know. That's good. That's good. Hey, this is an exciting time right now. We got PHiSH Tour looming. We got the whole media tour with the album. So there's tons of content to consume, all sorts of news. It's very exciting. We got a lot to talk about tonight. But I think we should start off with the housekeeping, as one does. Couple of things, quick announcements.
Huge things.
Yeah, right. First, apologies. You may have noticed the latest Fish Tales is a little bit late. I got some really excellent
Kitchen
interviews
floor
for
looks
this.
great.
What's that?
Your kitchen floor looks great.
Well, yeah. So part of it was I'm renovating my kitchen right now by myself, which is a lot of fucking work. But also, there's a story to tell, right? Coming out of Cyprus and 2.0 and the change in the scene and change of the festivals. And I got really good footage from like JW again and Brian from Attendance Bias joined and Fenoy is still in there. And so I'm working it. It just didn't land perfectly, so I didn't want to rush it, but I'm hoping to get that out tomorrow. And then Coventry will be out hopefully on Monday, so that'll get back on pace. Also, PHiSH Tour starting. That means the return of the After PHiSH after show every night, 15 minutes after Encore. Join us right here for
world's greatest
live
fish
recap
show.
Yeah. It feels like Kev's my hype man, but I can't hear anything he says. So
if I do say so myself,
he's just like, yeah.
You're flavor. I'm the Flavor Flav to your Chuck D.
Exactly. I'm looking forward to listening to some real new Fish and doing the after shows. That's gonna be a lot of fun. And then I think we've announced it, but during tour we paused the Wook Club because listening to old Fish on the days off when we listen to new Fish 5 days a week, it's a lot. Even for us, it's too much Fish. So Wook Club will come back after tour.
Yeah, with a Grateful Dead show to start. Cleanse the palate. And also, if you missed it earlier today, we hit with Mike Lowe. He was on the ground at the Tiny Desk, which we're going to get into in a little bit. And he gave us his impressions about getting in there and the sound check and all kinds of stuff from behind the scenes. So make sure to check that out.
He was on the video too. Like when you watch it, you could see him very clearly.
He was blocking everybody behind him too.
Yeah.
Did he get a high five from Trey?
He did. He got a high five from Trey. He did.
Very nice.
That was awesome. And then I guess live events. The only thing we're going to be doing in person this year is Mondegreen. So if you are at Mondegreen, look for the flags. We will be there. Yeah,
we'll be
Kev,
the
is your mic
boys.
Is your mic soft? That's
I
just
don't
saying
know.
that you might be a little low. Maybe that's why I can't hear your hyping.
I hope it didn't. Let's see. All right.
Check your settings, and
Is
I
that
will.
better?
Yeah,
Is
now you
that
can
better?
interrupt us with some gusto.
Okay, there you go. Sorry
There you
about
go.
that.
Yeah, because when you
There.
interrupt, at least I want to hear what you're saying.
Right?
StreamYard is taken to resetting. One day they put me on camera mic, and I was like, I sound like I'm in the other room. What's going on?
Gotta check your shit, man. It's not
I'm
like we've been doing
filing a
this for
ticket.
5 years.
I'm filing a ticket.
Thank you, S. You appreciate it. What's up, volunteer? All right. Did you guys check out this Mark Maron interview? This WTF interview?
Can I be honest?
Yeah.
I got the
No,
transcript.
wait. I want you to lie to me. Can you
Yeah,
lie
I
to
know.
me?
Please do, Kev.
I got the.
Usually,
I got,
I thought you said when people say that they're about to not be honest.
Yeah.
yeah, I'm going to be honest. I got the transcript and I read it. I did not listen to it, and it was very difficult to read because the two of them said, more than any two people ever in the history.
Why did you do
would
that?
you do that?
That's
Because I couldn't listen to 2 hours of people talking. Not a fan of listening to podcasts.
But you could read a 2-hour podcast. That sounds
Yes, because
horrible.
I'm a fast reader. I'm a really fast reader. So yeah.
Well, listen, I think that is not the way to go, especially with this, because there is a lot to be said with their tone and the storytelling, and especially like Mark Maron, he's like a comedian, so his delivery is very important. And I love this Trey because he like whispers, right? Like he's like, gather around, come close, right? And he's like, and you could tell he's all intense about it. And all right, well, T, did you see it or listen to it?
Yeah.
So I thought it was good. I was kind of like at the top of it. Mark was very much like fuck hippies and you fish kids are stupid.
Good
And it was
for
like a
him.
little like, dude, like chill the fuck out. But
He was
by
being a
the end of
punk.
it-
You know how punks are.
no, he's not a punk. He's just a fucking comedian that hates hippies. But I like Mark. I mean, I love his comedy and like I don't
But
hold that
Mark likes
against
the
him. It
Clash.
just I don't think it was coming across great. Like at first, like you know what I mean. Like it's as a fish fan, it kind of was like
I
well,
was
that's
told
weird.
to skip 15 minutes in to start. Is
How
what
do you
someone
judge
told me.
15 minutes of a fucking transcript?
Yeah,
They
it's
time
really
it.
a time
They
code.
time it by the minute.
I agree. I think the first hour was like that. Really, I think the second hour it settled in a lot better.
It
and
got
a
really
lot-
good towards the end. The
Yeah,
back
and
half
got
was
really good.
awesome.
And then, I think I always hate. I don't know, podcasters who like to hear themselves talk or talk so much and tell their own stories. Like, I get it's your podcast, but like your guest is there for a reason to tell their stories. So
He
he
kept
didn't. I
cutting
mean,
them off.
yeah, and like telling his own shit about
But
like
it's
living
his
with people that like
podcast.
dead and like
People are tuning in to listen to Mark Maron.
It's like fucking Kevin, dude. That's the problem. No, Kevin, people are tuning in to listen to Trey.
right, like
we
usually,
are,
I mean,
we are, but most of his normal listeners are tuning in to listen to
Okay,
him.
but
well,
you
right, but
can-
I still say anytime, like you don't like pretty much everybody knows, or I don't know. It was just weird. Like there was a lot of shit where he would ask Trey something, but then answered himself before he'd let Trey answer, or let Trey start
That's the
answering it, and
difference.
then
I know
interrupt
that
him
guy.
and say his whole thing, right? But it was just, and I think they got better in the second hour, like I said. And Trey started talking more.
They
and,
got a
like,
groove.
got
got a
into a few
groove on.
things, but it was fascinating. Like Trey's been on the media blitz, which is so funny to see and read and hear for this album. So
They like
Yeah, it
Jerry
was good.
now. Like
I had a couple.
Dr. Davis, man. They like talking about
Yeah,
Jerry.
we'll just
They
talk in
did.
a circle, man. Like say your points, and then we'll pass it back and forth, buddy. What are you saying?
I was just saying that there was a lot of talk about Jerry, and I found it fascinating because we've dug into that before, the connection between Trey and PHiSH and the Grateful Dead, and they spent a lot of time on it. And like Dr. Dave said, perhaps a little too much.
Yeah, well, it was definitely too much, and that's the problem. And like, listen, what can you expect? He admitted he didn't like fish and he didn't know it, and like because of that, you got a lot of good things, right? They got into like the addiction and stuff that I feel like somebody who doesn't know, only somebody who doesn't know fish and isn't a fanboy could get to. But I feel like he was so caught up in the Fish's Grateful Dead Light or the next iteration that he couldn't get past that. He kept talking about the lost hippies finding fish. And that's one neat aspect to talk about 95 and the change of the scene. But there's so much more. And you could tell, I thought at least, Trey was trying to pull the conversation to other interesting aspects. And Mark, to T's point, was like kept interrupting and bringing it back to his understanding of it, which was an incomplete understanding. And all he had to do was set up the conversation and then let Trey fucking tell the story.
right,
And it would have worked a lot better. Once they got away from that,
The-
it worked really well.
yeah,
The best interview is when you ask the guy a question or the person a question, and 15-20 minutes later they're done talking and you didn't have to do anything but sit there and nod. And
yeah. That's what you want to hear too, and that's kind of what I mean. It got better, I thought too, and like they talked, a lot of it was about Trey's history with addiction, like, and how it fell into that and that whole thing, and like them talking kind of through that stuff and recovery and all that. So it was, I mean, it was cool. It was just an interesting aspect that's why he was on, like he was kind of upfront about that too. Was like, I wasn't going to dive into their music and talk like music and all this stuff with them. Like our common ground is the recovery and like addiction and stuff. So that's where it was, it was a heavy episode listening to all that stuff and listening to not really the bad times of PHiSH, but like what happened to sort of them and like,
Right.
ruin
I think
Trey
it's
and
fascinating, the dark
is.
energy that joined the scene and the transformation in the late 90s into the early noughts. You know, with
Like
doing
with
the
it and
Fishtails things right now
Coventry?
at it and Coventry, it's heavy on my mind because I'm talking to all these people about how it felt then. And so I
Yeah.
thought it was a really interesting thing. I was just like you said,
And
a
him
little
saying like
disappointed we
his
didn't get more
favorite
of it.
years were 92, 93, 94. Like,
And then 09 on, which I was like, fuck yeah.
yeah, because that was like, when they sort of became more than just, and it was cool listening to him talk about the festivals, now that you've been doing the festivals too, hearing him talk about like, why they put it way up in Limestone, Maine to get away from everybody. And like hearing him reminiscing about it was really cool too.
Yeah. I liked
I
the
miss
whole
Limestone.
where they landed on it, not thinking of it as a rock band and thinking of it more as like a community and the evolution of the community and their role in it and like the intern and external. I thought that was kind of like a fresh thing that we haven't heard talked about a ton. I don't know. It wasn't like a mind blowing interview, but I think it's definitely worth a listen. I think the parts they got to, especially the back half, were worth checking out.
Let me ask you, you're watching this, you're listening to this, watching it, however you want to
Or
frame
reading it if you're
and
Kev.
reading it, and you've seen all the other interviews that have come out over the past week or so. It feels like Trey had some talking points laid out for him. Like
that's what I'm saying. He's been doing a lot of press for this album, and yeah, I mean,
and then the Tiny Desk, it was trending at number 12 on YouTube. The episode of PHiSH before we came on.
Yeah.
There's a lot. I mean, it's they've really.
What about going after John Mayer? How do we feel about the nostalgia act stuff?
He's fucking right as all hell. No, he's 100% right. And I don't think he's saying that John thinks he's Jerry, but I think he's like the whole idea of like, because like you hear people talk, not everybody, not you guys, but like people talk about Dead and Co. like it's like still a Grateful Dead and shit. And I think he's just putting it all back in perspective. He's like, listen, it's fine. It's a really good tribute act, but just because you play with Bobby doesn't make you fucking Jerry. And I think when I heard people saw people talking about online, it sounded vicious, like he was fucking attacking. But listening to it, to me, I thought he was including himself, right? Like he was talking about him and John and anyone that plays with Bobby. Is like, listen, we're not Jerry. And like
my bedrock stance on this has always been Dead and Company has never written a new song.
Yeah, they are a tribute act. They are a cover band. Maybe not a cover band, but like
they're a cover band. But the nostalgia, I think Trey nailed it with that. I'm going with nostalgia from here on out.
Yeah. I got a revelation from this interview though, and paired, and it'll be a transition in the Tiny Desk. But so I did it. I listened to What the Fuck, the Mark Maron interview, and then Tiny Desk, and between the two, I'm starting to like Evolve.
Oh boy.
No, listen, and maybe I don't know, man.
We're listening.
I don't even know how the emotional side of it has such an impact on me, but hearing Trey vocalize and talk about the darkness that came into the scene, the weight of it all, that coming back with like the band still supporting him after his rehab, and then 09 and it all being joyous, right? Which is all shit I've known, but like hearing him say it in such a concise way, and then like minutes later listening to the Tiny Desk concert and then them playing Evolve and seeing the huge goofy smile on his face and him like with like the fucking little finger things, sock puppets, I got like emotional. I was like, good for you, Trey. I want you to be happy. I was like, you could fucking sing, Skin 'em Rinky Dinky Dink, and I'll be like happy for you because like I don't know. I appreciated the joy in the song a lot more than I had previous listens, I guess. Still, it's not like that's my favorite song.
I'm always happy for Trey. I'm always happy for all of them that they're up there doing it, that they made it work this long. I mean, my God, Wook Plus, we started off with 6. Now we got 4, 3 that we see.
You don't need to tell anybody. Half the people watching don't remember. It's always been 4, and Llama's just a shy producer.
We had an evil presence for a while that really shifted.
I mean, that's amazing, good for them, but that doesn't necessarily negate the fact that maybe some of what he's writing is weak.
Yeah,
maybe, but
Maybe.
I mean, you still get ridiculously stupid shit. And
Couldn't we switch to Tiny Desk at this point?
I think that I don't know. I mean, I get hating Evolve, but I'm glad to hear you're coming around, Tim, because I think it's a fun song, and even hearing the Tiny Desk version was very. It was
we'll
cool.
go
Like,
to Evolve and then come back to Tiny Desk.
You know what I really liked about the whole thing was, again, how like stripped down it was, and it really made you think like, oh man, look, Paige can just play with 2 little keyboards. Like he doesn't need to be like surrounded by all this shit all the time. And Mike,
my bar question: you put them in a bar. What do they sound like? This is what they sound like when you put them in a bar.
Yeah, and I think it was very. I think there's a couple songs too, Kev, where I was going to say to you how we always talk about some of the Mayer tunes being like, oh, this would be perfect in like a bar. It felt like that on a couple of those. You're like, oh, this is what they'd sound like being in a bar, and it sounds really cool.
You Enjoy Myself was sublime.
Yeah.
My favorite You Enjoy Myself in years.
And Trey, 2 things about that. Trey wanted that tiny trampoline joke to land so hard, like when they put it back down.
It was
and
so
then did
cute,
the
though. It's
wanted
like,
it to land so hard. It was cute. It was funny watching him try and like really egg that joke. And then, secondly, I don't know about you guys, but Mike was giving me so much anxiety when they were on the trampoline. Like he held it upright, but like
taking it out. He's taking something out.
The room between him and that shelving unit, I was like, oh my god, he's gonna hit it.
Summer tour's canceled. Fishman's.
I know. Because I was watching. I was like, there's no way he's gonna turn that way. They're just gonna do like the half rotations and not. And he didn't went all the way around. I was like, true professional. True professional. The guy measured it to like the millimeter and was like able to. Bravo, Mike. Like, but I was totally. Oh, he did it.
I mean, that has to be second nature at this point. How many EMs have they done? Like 500 and
for sure. But
the
margin of error was like, I mean, the shelf was like right here, and he was like,
I mean, Mike told me that when he got in for the sound check, they did it twice before they even started taping.
So that was
the third time they played it that day.
So, and he practiced like how to hold it and where to be. But I'm sure in one of those earlier run throughs, he hit the bass on that thing. Like that was close. Like it was.
Did you notice the broccoli sign?
Yeah, but I was wondering how much of that shit is up there for them, and like how much was theirs. Like their shit was kind of staged on the desk.
So great. That's so great.
With the 8-ball next to their.
What are the books? Has anybody bothered to zoom in on the books and see what books they chose to raise their mic stands?
To raise their mics? No, but I did notice the Count and Cookie Monster's NPR badges hanging behind Paige when they zoom in back there. I did like looking around at everything in the shot and trying to find things. Totally.
Yeah.
Totally.
Now, did you notice that the first 2 songs they did were the title cuts off their last 2 albums?
Of course.
I did notice that.
And I also noticed, all right, now I'm going to go back and listen, I'm not a politician. I'm going to flip-flop, and you're all just going to have to live with it. I apologize. But that was the other takeaway was Sigma Oasis is significantly better than Evolve. I
with an NPR
Evolve more than I did a few days ago.
Are we losing Tim? Is it me or
I think it's Tim. I think it's Tim.
Wow. Fuck yeah.
Dude, we missed everything you just said. We came back on fuck yeah. That was amazing. You pulled a Kev. You totally just pulled a Kev. That was amazing.
The All Things Reconsidered tease.
Oh man.
And they did the NPR thing. Boom, 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 or whatever it is.
Uh-huh. Oh man,
they had fun. They're just having fun. They're like, we're old as shit. We're fucking cashing checks. Let's have fun.
And again, Kev,
you guys are good.
One of those. One of those things where it's like, would they have ever like imagine back again, like we were saying, 92, 93, 94, them playing on NPR, like in that sort of like it's crazy.
Oh my god, that would have been so great. They would have done all riff stuff.
It's crazy. Like it's very
Would have been perfect. All right, let's move on, and Tim will catch up. Evolve. What do you think of
Oh, boy.
what do you think overall of the album now that you've listened to it?
I haven't listened to the whole thing.
Oh, so have you heard The Well at least?
No, I haven't heard the studio well. I've only heard a few of the songs off it. I
Okay,
wasn't really.
What do you think of what you heard?
I mean, I wasn't super excited to go buy it. Just like I'm not a huge Studio PHiSH fan. I'll listen to it eventually and like check it out. But like I wasn't super stoked on. I have to listen to this. But I don't know what came out. What I listened to so far from things. I don't know. I don't hate it. Like I like Studio Evolve. I like some of the studio stuff we've heard. I thought, yeah, I don't know. I think Life Saving Gun, the studio cut was good. They played that a ton, on the radio and shit that you've heard. But I like it. I think there's a cool little middle section in that one that you don't often get with Studio PHiSH sometimes. So I don't know.
It's probably the most interesting song to me on the album.
Yeah. I can see that.
Definitely. Well, the lyric, what the fuck is a meso laceration? I tell you what, though, I do know. A percussion rinse is actually, in real life, a dental term. It's a way they clean dental instruments with a percussion rinse. So throw that into the what does life-saving gun mean, I love the lyrics. It's so good that you can't. You know what? PHiSH went through a period with Set Your Soul Free, Everything's Right, Soul Planet, where Trey was reading self-help books and writing self-help songs. And they've gone back into the more absurd stuff with Life Saving Gun and Oblivion and The Well and all these lyrics, Pillow Jets. It's Wave of Hope mentions Pillow Jets, and then the next song on the album is Pillow Jets. It's like there's this they have this like little Pink Floyd thread running through the whole thing. Yeah. Not Pink Floyd with Roger Waters, Pink Floyd, David Gilmour stuff like Momentary Lapse of Reason on. Like it's mature.
I did have a friend who is a light PHiSH fan. Like he's not super into them, but like we've gone to a bunch of shows and he was there in the 1 Point era with me and kind of just sort of fell out of it over the years and stuff. But he was there with the early PHiSH and he was listening to it over the weekend or the other day on one of our text threads and was just like tearing it apart. He was like, oh my God, what is this? Like, what did they like go into this shit and like hated Pillow Jets? I was like, what the fuck is this song? Like, so it was really interesting to listen to his take on everything and be like, one of those that Studio PHiSH sucks, and you're like, well, yes, but I don't know. I like him. I don't hate. Hey, there he is. You're back.
Oh, did I have the slides?
Yeah, you had the slides.
The slides went away when I did that.
Yeah, we're on Evolve. One of my gripes, T, is the fact that they threw on so many of Trey's solo songs, and maybe we're on Evolve now. Yeah, and maybe two of them worked. Hey Stranger, I guess worked, but Mercy on there, Lonely Trip, like Dr. Dave. I love Dr. Dave.
I will say I wasn't a huge fan of the Lonely Trip cut that I did listen to. Like, I'll give it a few more listens before I definitively am like, but first listen, I was kind of like, I like it better a lot. Like, it's just better when Trey singing. Like, there's feelings about that song anyway, and where the placement is sometimes and things, but I enjoy it live and hearing
people like
sing
Lonely Trip. Lonely Trip.
Not, I don't hate it. I think it's a fun song. I think it's a fun song. I don't hate it by any means. I think sometimes where it's placed is its issue in certain things. But I would much rather hear Trey singing.
I'm good. I like Clarence Clemens' Slip Away, which is the exact same music for Lonely Trip, if you want to check it out.
I don't mind it on the album, but I don't want to have a bunch of these in the same set. I think that's where it's the problem. And I think my thoughts on Evolve as an album are going to be. Is my connection fucked up again?
No, you're good. You're good. We're hearing you.
We're hearing
my
you're blurry, but you're all right.
What the fuck is going on with this?
Apparently, there's a bad hub somewhere like I used to have.
I think it's the new kitchen floor. You put
Disconnected my
lead in
modem.
there. It's like
I'll just sit here and look blurry. You guys talk.
No, tell us about Evolve. You were fine. You're fine right
yeah,
now.
and talk about Studio Well.
No,
Yeah, go to Studio Well.
no, my thing on Evolve is it's gonna depend on what they do this tour. If they play every fucking show like they did on past albums, I'm gonna be very like, all right, enough's enough. Yeah, I know, SC. I'm very disappointed, but I don't know what to
But
do.
we'll only
about it.
catch one over 4 days at Mondegreen. So we're only going to have to see one Evolve if all we do is Mondegreen.
Yeah, but we're gonna watch every fucking show this summer.
But
When I'm home, I can pause it and go take a dump or something. You know,
I think a lot of songs on this album I'm happy to listen to though and replace other songs that have filled in certain places for songs. So I think there's room hopefully that these replace some songs that I am feeling could get replaced, and that's fine. So maybe there'll be a good shuffle. But yeah, I hear what you're saying too, Tim. Like you don't want
So, do we want to hear Valdez? What do we think about Valdez and Human Nature? Throw both of those out because they're the two we've never heard before.
I think you'll get Human Nature for sure.
Oh, definitely. That's going to be Mike's song of the summer.
Like probably first show.
Yeah.
Right.
I like it. I heard a Mike's band version, a Mike Gordon band version, and they did a really interesting section, went back to the song, repeated the interesting section. So if they give it a good 10 minutes, I think it'll fit. I really believe I'm going all in on the encores this summer, at least once a venue. Trey is going to walk out with acoustic guitar for the first song and do Valdez or do something like that as the first song of the encore acoustic with the rest of the band.
You think? And then we get an acoustic set at Mondegreen, like Festival 8.
Yes, exactly. It's all leading up to that.
I smell what you're putting down. Mm-hmm.
I hope they jam out Human Nature.
I do too. Human Nature deserves it. Give Mike some love. Come on. It's in his vocal range even, Tim. I mean, it's right there.
It's right there.
Oh man. I'm all on tilt and flustered. My fucking internet has me all upset.
Oh, you're all right.
Well, we can hear you good.
Yeah, we can hear you and you're not skipping a beat. Why don't we do this? Oh, what happened?
Why
Nobody
Studio Well? You don't want to talk about Studio Well?
Well, T never listened to it. I will talk about it with you.
Go ahead.
I think that it's a ripoff that's the bonus track and they're making you buy the vinyl for it.
I could agree with that without even listening to it. I agree.
Yeah, Josh, there's huge storms right now. Like the biggest storms I've seen in years. I think that's what probably a telephone pole went down or something. I'm on a hotspot right now. I'm on my cell phone, so because the internet around here is actually out. No, I actually kept before I listened to it. I was with you. I was like, oh, that sucks because I love that song. But then I heard it. Somebody ripped it and put it on YouTube, and I'm like, the studio version of it's not that fucking, spectacular. It's because it doesn't have the big jam. It doesn't do anything interesting. It's just like the mommy poppy lovey, hunky dory shit, and then a little tiny bit of darkness. So
not big on the well for Song of the Summer. I think Song of the Summer is going to be Pillow Jets, which I kept calling for New Year's, and I got cock blocked by Gamehenge. But Pillow Jets is going to be the Song of the Summer. I'm going all in tonight. I'm going all in. Cut those clips, motherfuckers.
Oblivion.
Oh, Kev.
Oblivion.
That's cute. I like it though. That's. I mean, I don't know if he just saved us from not having to deal with it all summer now, or if he'll be right and we're going to be sick of it.
Get that 30-minute Pillow Jets first night. People are going to be like, what's going on? PHiSH, it's a new band. And the thing is, you're going to be dragging all these noobs in who are seeing them on all these media outlets. Oh, well, yeah, let's go to Manchester, wherever, and see PHiSH for the night. And they're going to be like, what the hell is going on? What are they talking about?
Who is this band?
Who is this band?
No, I would think they would do some research before you just jump into something like that for sure. I don't think that album's really the gateway album. But they definitely have been.
Nobody's listening to Evolve and be like, "Oh, I'm gonna go check this band out." I mean, come on, be realistic.
Right.
That's not happening.
Tiny Desk trending number 12 on YouTube.
Maybe they see Tiny Desk and they check them out, but not the studio version of it.
Man, people hear the name Trey Anastasio and they're like, "Who is that?"
They were right. If I shit on Evolve, then I get good internet connection. The internet gods are like, Wook, you are here on a mission to shit on Evolve. Do not praise it.
All right, so let's go through some of the songs. We can meld Summer Tour in here. What are you most looking forward to after the album of hearing live now that they've laid down
We've heard all of them live though.
Yeah, but now they've laid down what the song is.
But now it'll be different because the album came out.
None of them changed what the song was, though. That was part of the disappointment I felt. They just neutered them. Like, I felt like we got heat, and not that this should fucking change how I feel, but like we did the Evolve review and we got heat where people are like, "Oh, you're being all negative, blah blah blah. You're just reliving your 30s," and I was like, and like giving a shit, but like. There was a level
that would be my
some
20s.
Expectations and a level of disappointment. And I think part of it in hindsight is they took songs that we had already heard better versions of and like kind of like tried to polish it, but kind of neutered them. I wanted something new and fresh. So my thought, Kev, is they're not going to change it at all. Like Oblivion's going to be the same Oblivion we got in New York, right? The only new ones would be Evaldiz and Human Nature, which is going to be the new Mull. They're going to fucking play it 3 times. Trey's gonna cut the jam short. Mike's gonna be all grumpy, and then they'll move on. Sorry, I don't want to step on your question.
I know that Trey said in the interviews how he loves to workshop songs. He said something about playing songs 2 or 3 times live before deciding whether they're worth going into the studio. I would love to hear a PHiSH album where they played nothing live beforehand. They went into the studio, recorded an album and released it and then went on tour, and that was the first time you heard any of those songs.
That was like Big Boat, I think. I like Friends and what was on Big Boat? I don't remember hearing a lot of those songs before they released
Petrichor? Petrichor was on there.
Yeah.
Right. I don't remember hearing Petrichor before that came out.
Huh. I wonder if that's a Bob Ezrine thing. What about the album after that? Well, no, Fuego, they played the whole damn album beforehand. So.
I know, I was going to say Fuego too, and I was like, no, that's the opposite of what you're talking about. I liked on the interview. I liked on the interview, by the way, when Trey was talking about how 92 to 95 is the PHiSH sound, and everything else are like offshoots of it, but that's when they solidify their sound. And also how I think it was the Rolling Stone one, but talking about how he writes to fill the live, the set list basically. Like, oh, we need a closer, we need a show, an encore, or whatever.
For me, PHiSH. If you said what is PHiSH's moment for you, I'd say T's first show. And it was because it was that sound at that moment and in that venue that they had made it in that moment.
Yeah.
The first time they played there?
Yeah, the first time in 93. That Split Open and Meld is one of the most gorgeous things for me that they've ever done.
Yeah. Yeah.
You got to tell everybody, like, you can't just assume everybody knows.
And what's crazy about that, though, too, Kev, was that show was like right in the middle of like so many other shows that were going.
It was
like
in the middle of a tour, right? They played like Kansas the night before,
right.
or something,
Which was also a really good show. I was listening to it the other day, and I was like, "Holy crap! This is the night before Red Rocks. This is like a banger of a show." It wasn't like they just came in and.
Did you
I don't
tell
know.
people what show you're talking about? You're still assuming that everybody knows.
Oh,
what your
sorry.
show
Jeez,
was.
you're right. That's
Red Rocks 8/20/93.
93, yeah. Yeah, their first time playing there. The first.
It felt different the next year. Don't you feel like it felt different the next year? They played 2 nights.
Yeah.
They had, they did a lot more songs. There were a lot more people. I mean, that first year I bought a ticket at the box office an hour before the show.
It was crazy seeing. It was almost like, we talk about Goose's Rise and how fast it was, but seeing that's like from 93 to 94, the difference in, to your point, Kev, people showing up for the show, traveling for the show, like 2 nights instead of just one, because like they could
Driving
do 2
from
nights all of a sudden.
Kansas, right? You had to drive from Kansas up into the foothills and
Wait, oh, sorry.
Go ahead.
Go ahead, Tim.
I was going back. I was like, no, because I remember all those songs debuting fall 16. Petrichor debuted in, I want to say Charleston or something, fall 16.
Where's our producer?
JW said that he would do it. We should hit him up.
That's right.
Or just somebody call Llama. Maybe it's a mix. I don't want to. I'm not confident enough to be like you're completely wrong. But I feel like a lot of those songs debuted in the fall of 16.
I feel like at Merriweather, I got a Friends one year, and it might have been in 16.
Well, I'm gonna look that shit up because I need to know.
Look at the Merriweather 16 show, and it probably will tell you how many.
I'm pretty sure Friends has been played like 3 times. I'm just going to look at every time played.
I caught a Friends once.
It's been played twice and never in Merriweather. So
okay.
You are
I didn't never
there.
Seen Friends. Never seen.
And
Friends.
It was played summer 16. So I'm a complete asshole. I apologize.
Back to our regular.
But I do remember the Petrichor though. That was fall 16, I think.
I think you were out when I said this. I don't know, maybe. That Trey was going to bust out an acoustic guitar every night for the encore.
Oh, I've heard that take from you. I disagree with you, but not enough to be like you're definitely wrong.
Didn't he do it at the Sphere?
Yeah, but I think that was because of the theatrics of the Sphere. I think that was like, hey, we want to do a farmhouse, and have it.
He likes to strip down. He was all big on the NPR sound and the strip down.
No, but they play to the room. I don't think an acoustic like that translates well in a summer shed. I think when you have the high fidelity audio in the Sphere or you're doing a NPR recording for YouTube, it makes perfect sense. I don't think that, secret set maybe, right? Doing something or a bonus thing like coffee and donuts type. I mean, not a repeat of that, but like that type of thing, right. Sure. But I don't like you're thinking like at the sheds and at Montegreen with the big fucking field and you have the
I think he's gonna have a Dave Matthews kind of. He's gonna have a Dave Matthews kind of moment. Where he comes out with the big acoustic guitar, shiny sound with the rest of the band.
You know why I hate this take, Kev? Because I think it's a bad take, but it's not like atrocious, right? It's like, to me, it's like a kind of a bad take. Like, I don't want to be like beating you up on it because it's not like really bad. I think it's just like not very
sort of bad. Like I could see
could be worse.
I think you're half right though. I think he'll play it a lot on tour. I think you'll get it. Whether or not it makes it to the festival as a thing, I don't know, Kev. We'll see. But I think you'll get a lot of it summer tour and probably even at Dick's. So we'll see.
I think they have 4 of the 5 years left.
This is the biggest festival by sets they've done, right? 8 scheduled
barely
sets.
Over 4 days. They did 7 at the Great Wet over 2 days.
No, I know. I'm not saying density. I'm saying number of sets. And also they didn't like if they do a secret set, which I'm assuming they're gonna do, that would be 9, right? So like they had they had scheduled 6. It's a lot of fish, man. I'm trying to be excited. Don't be, dude. When we get, I get it, but I don't want you to be like, oh, the Clifford Blow was like, I get it. Like, I
can't wait. I can't wait till 3 a.m. We're sitting there cracking one open, and I'm telling you dirty jokes, and I get you to
I'm just sitting there laughing my ass off.
And I just get you to spit your drink out, and I'm gonna be like, I succeeded. It was worth it to come here.
I love hanging out with you guys. We've only done it a handful of times in real life, but it's always been fun, right?
it's always been
a good time. I've not been this excited about PHiSH experience in a very long time. I don't know if ever. Like I've gotten myself all worked up and hyped up. You know, almost like to where I'm nervous. Like maybe I should just chill the fuck out and not be that. You know what I mean? Like I don't want to be that excited, but it's hard, man. Especially looking back and doing all the festivals leading up to it. It's just like so much history. It feels like one of those like Baker's dozen was probably the last time I felt. You know what I mean? Like it's just one of those like tentpole moments in like the timeline.
Right. And hopefully, as everyone suspects that this may be the last time there's a festival in the biblical sense, that they put a great exclamation point. They put a great exclamation point on it. They bookend the Clifford Ball as being forward thinking and something that's going to change the industry going forward.
What if they do another?
At that. Leave everyone else with that. Say, Bonnaroo, what's your move?
What if they just do another festival next year?
Well, I could see it going both ways. I could see it being like a big exclamation point or a return to like the roots and like feeling nostalgia. You hear Trey talk about all these things. He's been really harping on 96, 97, 98, Clifford Ball through Lemon Wheel and Cypress. And like, I could see them just like reducing their tours and doing Dick's, New York, Vegas, and a festival and maybe a couple Midwest shows every year. And
I mean, depending on how big it is, why not just play in one place and have 3 days of 50,000 people, 4 days of it, come to you and do that instead of
right. Do that in the summer. Do New Year's in New York, the fall in Vegas or whatever, and then in the summer,
the widespread model.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm really fun. Either way, I don't care if they do it again or don't do it again. All I'm thinking about is this year.
You just want to be there for this one, and your wife has a floor to show how much you want to be there.
And they wash
we needed a floor, dude. It looks good. I'll share.
You needed a floor when I was at the Man a couple years ago, crashing your crib.
Yeah, you saw a couple tiles broke. Since then, like 8 more tiles broke, and it's so embarrassing. I shouldn't say this shit. But like we're busy, we have kids and shit. So I use painter's tape to like hold the chunks down. So it wouldn't like, and it's fine. Like we're like,
you don't want to cut your kid's leg open or something.
No, like it was safe. But like, we're not like, I don't have a ton of disposable income and shit. But it got to the point where I was like, I gotta get this shit replaced. So I've been doing it all myself, busting my ass. But
and it's because you have a great anniversary coming up, and I have yet to meet this beautiful person, but your daughter's going to be one.
Yeah,
and God bless her.
Today's technically her birthday, but the family's all coming up this weekend. So yeah, happy birthday! If she's watching this in like 10 years or whatever.
Her first birthday.
Yeah,
it's fantastic. So I have yet to meet her, but one day I will get to meet her. I've met the other one a few times. She looks at me funny. She's like, "Ooh, old white dude, long hair."
Everybody looks at you funny, dude.
Exactly. It's the story of my life.
I have there's like a track record of Wooks coming out of like old Wooks coming out of my basement because like we have like the band over, right? And they're like older dudes, and then like you guys coming over, like other people before shows, like my other friends. And in her mind, it's all the same. Like you all get categorized and like daddy's friends, but everybody's super nice, like and always super friendly to her. And like you got her a freaking stuff like mini.
Mini Leia, it was a mini Star Wars,
She didn't know at that age. She was just too young to like know.
Yeah, but I wanted to be like, I'm not scary, and as long as the parents are like, yeah, take the gift from the scary dude, maybe I'm not as scary.
Well, Ixo, remember Ixo? He stayed with me one time on tour.
I was there that night.
Right. So those are you and him are the two that sticks out to her. He's beard guy, and you're white. Like white hair guy, basically.
I'm the white wizard.
You're like the white Gandalf, and he's the big beard guy. Because I haven't seen him in a while, but at that time he had like his beard was like a foot long. It was like, like ZZ
What's
Top
the guy
beard.
from? Who's the guy from Harry Potter? He can be that guy.
Right.
We can cross all the genres over. Oh man! All right, so let's talk New Year's. Come on. What's up?
A couple of announcements. Goose doing
Austin.
Well, how did they say that? Austin. Like a fancy soiree in Austin?
Austin.
Does that mean I have to wear a tie? Come on.
You're not going to Texas.
I went to a Radiators New Year's once, and I worked the front, and I had to wear a tuxedo. So they had an after show, so I show up in my tuxedo at the after show till like 7 a.m. 3 days later, I fly to Florida to go see them. Right, a couple days
Still
after
wearing
that,
the tuxedo. You still have the tuxedo on.
I still not have the tuxedo on, but I come to fly home, and I realized that I don't have my ID. This was pre 9/11. So I had to jump through hoops in order to get onto the plane. I get home, my ID's in the tux with a rolled up $100 bill. I was like, I had a good New Year's.
I think that's a bold move to schedule their New Year's soiree in Texas. Like,
Austin is a fun city. All people will come out in Austin because they'll be like, oh, that's the show where everybody's going to be raging.
Is it a smaller venue, or are they just that national now? Like, I feel like
they're trying to push
that's
it
going to be a
out.
hard sell for them.
They're looking for
How
their
big is
home.
the arena?
I don't know.
Oh.
We don't have a fucking producer.
No producer? Oh, okay. Well, I'm glad we're talking about this.
I know what I want to say for the wild card. We're now hiring. We're taking resumes for a producer spot.
If you haven't noticed tonight, we're in need of a producer.
I think Goose from here on out is just going to bide their time till they can get the Madison Square Garden slot.
Well, hopefully that's like another, 10, 15
for New Year's or just in general
for New Year's. For New Year's.
You think they're? It's 16,
I think eventually they are going to be the band people.
They're a little bit away, but
that's okay,
16K. Thank you.
So that's like a Hampton.
That's bigger than Hampton. Hampton's like 12.
Yeah, that's like like an NBA, NHL arena.
Are they also doing a Goosemas?
Yeah. I think they're doing it like.
So 2 weeks apart, they're doing big events. That's a bold move. Huge. Jesus.
Yes, but each one will have
it's in Charleston,
the
right?
Game of the year.
Charleston. I was thinking about doing that actually.
That's gonna be like some Jesus cleaning his bowling ball.
References.
Working it. We're gonna end the Sphere. What's his name? Let it slip. The Dead Company was gonna do the Sphere for New Year's, but they're having electronic dance music.
Did you see that thing though? Like they sold out so fast they added 2 days. See more, they added the 29th and 30th now too.
That's
crazy.
And
the Eagles, and I think you mentioned last week the Eagles extended their stay at the Sphere
into January, 20 shows, yeah.
So it's good to see. I mean, at least there's an audience going and wants to see things.
I bet that show on New Year's is going to be fantastic because it's just going to be music. You aren't going to have to pay attention to the stage. Wherever you stand, you're just going to look up.
Exactly.
I'm not even a huge fan of that kind of music, and I think I would love that. I think that'd be fucking like in that with the haptics and the localized sound and everything.
Totally.
That's gonna be fucking
it breaks
cool as
the
shit.
door open to a more pop act. Finally coming in, seeing that will work in that
or
space.
Just sort of those DJ EDM acts, which you don't like your point, Kev, need to pay attention to the stage. They just have like some lights and then some crazy
They're
shit.
standing back there on that little stage by themselves, maybe a couple people in cages dancing on either side of the stage or something.
Right, some air horns and smoke machines.
Some air horns.
I feel like Kev's imagination and memory is like an 80s detective show or something, what I mean? Like it's like a very specific hair metal Miami Vice type of visualization.
Pyrotechnics on the side where it was like the just like the fire that goes up. Green lasers.
Right.
I think I'm gonna probably next year because I'm realistically at this point I get one big outing. I don't want to try to do Sphere. We should try to do that up big next year. PHiSH Sphere.
Dude,
we're doing it for PHiSH, right? T's got that in the bag for us. We're in.
Sweet, man. Yes,
we're in, man.
Get that as soon as we can.
We're gonna be up at the suite. We'll be up there like those two fancy old dudes in that meme, looking down on everyone.
Someone asked earlier, and I missed it. My service was all fucked up, but was asking where. Oh, it was Savvy was asking where our Mondegreen HQ is going to be, and that is to be determined.
We don't know.
We're books. So right now, I think the goal or the intent is Glen Close, but
Ain't happening.
I think we very likely are going to end up in GA.
And
But I'm
camping with
not ready
everyone
to
else.
say we're giving up on the Glen Close.
We're going to be in
situation.
general
Right.
camping with everyone else, and just we're going to have a huge spot. We'll cut the road off and be like, sorry, we've taken over.
I want to hang out with Makita. We did fucking like 20 something
Well, he ain't
shows
in
in a
Glen
row
Close.
together. I know, and he's in GA. But
He
I
ain't
also
some
want to
bougie
shit in air condition,
motherfucker.
Kev.
Right?
But I'm torn between hanging out with Makita and using the
And
restroom
shitting
in the air conditioning.
conditioning. He's torn between Makita and pooping in the air conditioning.
Well, when it's
I
100
mean,
degrees
I
out
already
and
know.
100% humidity, that's kind of important.
Yeah, I already know where my vote is on that. Sorry, Makita.
Yeah,
I
I
love
mean-
you, but
So that's it. We'll have the flags up and we'll be around. And
We will let everyone know. We will drop
yeah,
a pin.
Yeah, Scott.
We
Dude,
will be.
Scott is so much fun to hang out with at shows. He's
We
awesome.
will.
He's my
We
boy.
will drop a pin so everyone can find us.
No, I'm not doing that.
I am.
I don't want to put that shit out there. Fucking, I guess.
I
Maybe
will
we
be there Thursday night, late night, and then after that, I can't guarantee anything.
You're
There
gonna
may be a
at the
hotel.
top.
There may be several hotels in my future. We'll see. But Thursday night, I'll be raging with you guys
Just
somewhere.
try to hang out. You know, you don't have to sleep, but like, I don't want it to be one of those things where I see you once and then you're off with your crew and like, try.
That's what's
come on.
happening.
I want to get
That's
to
what's
see you once a
happening.
year.
Nah.
And
we'll
you
have
get-
a
no,
I'm
raging-
doing the guilt thing. I am guilting T, and I'm like, come on, T. I never get to see you. Let's hang out. Come on.
We'll be hanging
Enjoy
out
your
this fall.
25 minutes.
What
that
about
you get to
seeing the
spend.
show? Are you already making plans to split up your nights with different crews? Are you gonna watch the show with us?
I mean, I'm sure. I don't really. Yeah, we'll see.
I'll
I mean,
go
I'm
in early.
going-
We could get up front. Not
I
all
don't
the way up
care. I'm
front.
going in alone, so like I don't have to worry about anybody but myself. So chances are I'll be lost every night from everybody I go in with. So if we're gonna meet up, we need to have like meeting places to meet up.
T does
Yeah,
not
so-
want to hang out with us, Tim. You
I
know
can
that?
tell. I can
I
feel
totally
that.
do. You guys will be the only people I'm hanging out with. I'm not hanging out with anybody. Like I don't have.
I also
like,
feel like I have PTSD because like I'm hanging out with T, having a good time, and I turn around and he's fucking gone. I'm like, where did T go?
I will be there.
Meanwhile,
we'll be there.
Kev's with me like 7 hours later. We're like fucking walking in the lobby of the hotel. I'm like, we're the only two up still.
We need to work on Work Plus stuff.
Yeah.
Now's the time to do
Exactly. Exactly. Because like I have this idea. We could shoot it here.
Right? We
I
got
always
this.
love when Llama's like, we got to film all this footage. We got to do this. We got to do that. And we don't do any of that. No, I'm going to
happens.
enjoy the festival and hang out. Well, it's going to be fun and we'll be around. And I hope, honestly, like, I will probably not see everybody, and I'm probably not going to remember a lot of people, but I do want to like get to like see people too. I think that'll
Do
be
not
there's a lot of people I
hesitate
wanna
to
see.
come up and bother me. I don't know about the two of them, but I've had people tell me online afterwards, I saw you, but I didn't want to bother you. And I'm like, come bother me.
We
I
better
will
get
love
some,
to meet
Yeah, worst
anybody
case
and
will be
say
like,
hi.
hey, now's not a great time, man, but nice to see you, right?
Hey,
like
I'm tripping
if
too
you're not in a good
hard.
spot, but like otherwise, I love talking to people.
Even if
We'll
I'm
have-
not a good spot, I'll be like, just hang out for a minute.
You say
have-
that,
And then
but
like
I've
an hour
seen you in
later,
a
they'll
not
be
a good
like, dude, you haven't said a
You
word.
hear this bullshit? You think if Ked's in a bad spot, he's gonna be fucking talking to people?
I
No, we'll just have a
do.
little one of those little signs on you that say that. So like when it's flipped over, it says, leave me alone, I'm having a bad time. And then otherwise,
Dishwasher.
if you see it the other one, it's clear to talk to him.
Like you put on the dishwasher if the dishes are clean or dirty.
Right, exactly. If he's in a good mood or not, if he's tripping or not. We'll see.
Dr. Dave, you gotta come, man. It's gonna be fantastic.
Safe to approach.
I'm gonna get a sign that
did
says,
at
if you
Dick's
find
one
me,
year-
return me to the W plus flag.
At Dick's one year, some people came over because they wanted to say hi. And I was like, you can't sit there. And they were like, all right, dude. Whatever. And I was like,
All
I
right,
was like, I
man.
was just in the moment
Thanks
of
for
there was
yelling
9,000,
at us.
you know.
Yeah, you're gonna be a
You have
dick. I
your
know it.
moments.
I can foresee it. Man of the
Yeah,
people
you-
pisses everyone off.
We gotta get some new stickers too before this trip. So
Oh, that could be our wild card.
Oh.
What should the stickers say?
where should we get them from?
There you go, incredible. Is that the sticker you're talking about?
I don't know what you're talking about.
The last comment.
Oh yeah.
There it is.
There it is.
You made the water bottle, man. You made the water bottle.
The water bottle. Water bottle.
Water bottle.
Water bottle.
So I like these. I still have more of these.
Those don't stick very well either. They kind of stick really crappy, I've noticed.
All right. Forget those. What about these?
Man, those were the best.
Classic. That's the classic.
That's the classic.
Could get more of those.
I like the W's too. The W ones are easy.
The circle ones?
Because the circle ones slap on things. Those kind of have a hard time sticking too, but those I like those the best. They're easy to hand out too because they fit in your pocket, so you can like take a stack of them and just hand them out to people.
Well, what if we do the W plus in the circle just like that, but do the purple galaxy background so they're a little more colorful and like crisper?
Right, the 3.0 version. I definitely.
That's a simple. I like that, and it's brand recognition, right?
Right.
Different colors for different tours and years.
Versions of the stickers. White. We started out with white, and we went to black. Now we're going with the purple.
You better order them like in the next day so we get them shipped in time to whoever's getting them.
Well, the shitty place used to get them pretty quickly. Like, so
yeah, I'll get them.
Well,
I love how Kev just sits there giving out orders. You better design it and ship them. You know, Kev,
get that in the mail tomorrow.
I did the whole.
I know you did the last ones. I'll do it. I don't mind doing it. I'm just saying it's always funny when you're like.
And I even designed cool stickers that I don't even know if I have.
But Dr. Dave,
I didn't realize that this is
we're trying to get input from you guys. You guys can suggest ideas for the stickers.
There was the classic sticker that was your mama is down in front. The slogan sticker.
Didn't we have Hogan slogans bumper stickers?
We have Hogan slogan
they said
shirts.
Your mama is down in front is what they said.
The shirts are fantastic.
Sean was wearing it today. I saw he posted a picture and I was like,
that was funny.
That's a good shirt.
I don't know what happened to it. They were classic. Everybody I gave one to laughed. They thought it was funny. They had no idea what it meant. And in the bottom it said compliments of Hogan slogans. What plus?
Compliments of Hogan slogans. That's
I didn't hate the shirt or the sticker, but you proposed it as our main sticker for that year. And my point was it's not very good marketing because nobody knows what the fuck it is. Like, fine, if you want to buy these stickers, like it's fine. But we were trying to figure out, like, hey, how do we get Wook Plus out there? And
I made a moon cabin sticker that year.
I know you made a bunch of dumbass stickers.
Moon cabin.
Well, the idea was going to be we printed up like 5 or 6 different stickers, and then you had to collect them all like Pokemon. You had to find people who had the different stickers, so you get the whole set.
And then if you got the set, you got a bonus sticker.
You got to bet, if you came over with the whole set, you get the bonus sticker.
That's great.
Oh,
no, I don't think we're doing any other shows this year.
Unless we can get Llama to drive up there.
Did you see how fucking expensive the webcast is? I know it's the same every year, but I'm like,
well, especially if you want it in 4K. Like,
that's
holy shit.
Yeah, I'm not paying for 4K. I close my eyes half the time.
Like, what the hell is that? $850? Like, I mean, that's.
Can I get the $200 summer tour audio only?
Just the audio, right? Can someone just Mixler it to me? And that's good.
I like watching. I feel like I'm more engaged when I watch than I am just listening because I'll be online and I'll be like, 10 minutes went by. I don't even know what they played because I was reading some article or something.
Totally.
Like that.
Yeah, you're more. Yeah, I agree. A little more engaging to be able to watch it.
So I can listen to it.
If I close my eyes, it would be like 3:30 in the morning, and you'd be like, "Dude, why'd you miss the show, man? What happened?"
Kevin, I've called him 100 times. He's not waking up.
It'd be one of those solo Tim ones.
Hey, man, those shows were fine.
That worked at Dick's last year. Go back and check it out.
No, you don't need to check that out. We can leave that one alone.
But that sucks. Right. I mean, that's like pricey for. I mean, I don't know. Just
I feel like we should get a press pass though if we're giving all this awesome promotion.
We should.
Who do we talk
Right?
to about that?
And
If
doing
we had a
after
fucking
shows?
producer,
Dude, Brad hates us.
no, Brad hates you.
He don't hate me. I've asked him to I've tried to get him for an interview like 6 times.
And what did
Everybody
he
I can
say?
find, and they're always like, Brad isn't interested. And I'm like,
Right, because Brad hates you. Don't put that shit on me.
eventually, but I feel like eventually he will, because I love the guy. I love what he did. I feel like he is one of the 5 most important people in the history of taping live music.
Okay.
Big statement there, Kev.
Yeah.
It is. Lomax, him. There's a few other people.
But no, am I wrong? Like, don't like shouldn't there be like a press act? I mean, we're not like press, but like
something or a discount.
We are the official after show of PHiSH Tour.
The biggest after show in the world for PHiSH Tour.
I mean, it would be nice, right, if we got a discount or like the
I mean, we could get the Discord discount, but
yeah,
right.
Brad hates us. Brad hates Kevin stickers. That would be huge.
Yeah, it's like
that would be another really thing. No one know what the hell that meant. Why does Brad hate Kevin?
I don't want to pirate it. Like I want to be able to support the band. I actually believe in that, right? Like they're putting it out there, but at that price point, I don't know, man. Like,
well, that's why we support the band by one person buying it. And
it works out to $25 a show,
right?
Which really isn't that much when you think about it for the whole tour, but
if you buy them
all, it is.
That's fine. If you do it individually, sell it at $30, $40 a show or whatever. But if you're gonna buy the whole fucking pass, they couldn't cut it down to like $450 or $500, like $830.
But that's 4K. The other one's cheaper.
And if you're saying like $25 a head, yeah, but like right here, that's $75 for. It's like it's so you don't even get
for the
like
weekend. For the weekend, it's $75. Yeah.
Well, right, but there's 3 of us here, and 3 of us would get the show, so that's $75 right there, right?
That's
so
$225.
Right, because they don't even let you share it. That's the other fucking problem.
You can't share it.
We tried to do that.
In the old days,
they turned it off.
Me and Penny watched everything together. We'd split everything.
You used to be able to do that up to 3 people, and now you can't do it.
Come on, Brad, hook us up. At least bring that back as a press pass. 3 people for the price of 1. Come on, we love you, Brad. We want you to come on.
We could do a private server watch party. So, because the public is. Why not?
Not breaking any laws, man. Not breaking any laws.
I'm just saying hypothetically. I'm not.
Then Kev can't go to Canada.
I will be selling water at Mondegreen, just so you know.
No, I'm not breaking any laws, man.
$2, 3 for $5. And I'm going to be doing it without the vendor pass, so keep it under your hats.
You talk about fucking Pirates Bay and how you watch all the Disney shit the day before it comes out. You probably already seen Deadpool, and you're going to get all butthurt about a private Discord, right?
You're going to love Deadpool. You're going to love it.
Yeah, but I am really excited about that. All right, let's get the fuck out of here. I got
we'll see you after the show Friday. Maybe we'll see you before.
Tour.
Thanks, guys. Bye.
Maybe we'll see.
Tour.
I'm not saying no, but I'm also not saying no.
Oh my God. Oh, my family coming over.
We just won't tell
for
Kev.
My kid's birthday.
Yeah, let's make Kev pay for it.
He doesn't have to know ever.
Yay. Sit, Ubu, sit.